Hello, it's Laurie again. I want to share with you a cigar box that I finally completed for a mini album swap. And this is going out to Alina. This is for the Cigar Box Swap over at Mini Album Scraps. And she wanted a steampunk theme. And so this is what I did. This is not a traditional cigar box, although it is the same size pretty much. This is was a white box that was the same size as the cigar box, but it was deeper, and it was like a white chipboard material, and I decorated it all up, and I wanted the deeper because I filled it with all kinds of goodies. So this is one side. Let's see if I can show this. And what I did was I did this beaded trim that I had for a few years. Couldn't even tell you who did that. And then there's a lace trim underneath there that I bought from Joann's. And of course this is the steampunk paper. And this particular chipboard gear I ordered from Gina here at Mini Album Scraps, along with this one. And I embossed them with silver. This one is silver embossing powder, and this is verdigris. And this is an AccuCut die cut, this gear, and again I embossed it. And the base of the box, what I did was I painted it in the teal, and then I went over it in an antique solution, which I believe is made with plaid. It looks brown. It looks like brown paint, but it's a very, very thin, almost a watery type of paint, and it antiqued it, which is what you can see like right here. And that's what I did with the whole box all the way around. And this is the bottom. So you can see that it gave it. So that's what it looks like after it was all done with the teal and then the antiquing. And then what I did was, if you can see here on these edges, is I did the gold rub and buff. And I did that around all of the edges, but some of it is hard to see. Now on this side of the box is a chipboard, it's not a chipboard, it's a cardstock butterfly with the verdigris and the gold embossing powder. And then again over here I did some more gears, some that I ordered from Gina, and then the others are made out of chipboard and just done with embossing powder. And over here again, the butterfly in this corner with a gear, and here's the front, and I did a key right here. This was a round metal frame, the one that's kind of the brown here. Top of that I did a clear, it looks like a part to a watch, and that covers the face of the watch, Tim Holtz metal gear. And then this was a black resin flower that I did the gold rub and buff on. And what I did was I wrapped just a white elastic. I think I might color it before I send it out, but it's a white elastic that's wrapped around here and comes up and over, and here is the cover. So it's kind of big, so I don't know how well you'll see this. So this knob is a Tim Holtz fastener, hitch fastener, and I use some chipboard from Gina, again, that I embossed. So there's 3 layers that I glued on. There's a lot of stuff I did to the cover of this. What I did was I covered the steampunk lady's wings with real feathers on both sides, right here, and I did feathers. And I did, again, it was one of these flowers that I did the rub and buff. Anything that was lacy on her dress, the sleeves, and the blouse part, I did in gold stickles. I did dimensional glaze over the watch of her necklace. I cut a piece from one of those chains, one of those metal chains. I cut that. I did the gloss glaze on her silk hat, and used, I think this is a Prima flower. I'm pretty sure this is a Prima flower. And that was already touched up with gold, and I just kind of added it. I just added some gold to that. What else did I do? What else did I do to her? quite a bit. Down here is the crow, and I made it shiny, if you can see it like that, again with the diamond glaze. Up here is like, it's, you know, time flies, it's kind of covered. I outlined it in gold stickles. I cut out some wings from a butterfly, from a Martha Stewart butterfly, glued that on. Did the stickles, put a metal gear from Tim Holtz there for the body. I did another one, this is a, what do you call it, from Tim Holtz. And there's a butterfly sticker, kind of blends in right there. This is one of those chipboard gears with the verdigris embossing from Gina. Down here in this cluster, a butterfly. I want to say it's Recollections, but I'm not positive. And I don't think it's a Martha Stewart. Again, some Prima flowers. This black one is a homemade rose that I put the rub and buff on. Stick pin. Some more Prima flowers. Some black bling flourish. What else? On this side, what I did with the trim, this was a long piece of wood. I think it was like 3 feet long. And I cut it. I cut each length, you know, obviously to the length of each side of the box. And I painted it with a brick, almost like a brick color paint. And I inked it, and then I did the gold rub and buff. And the rub and buff takes up a lot, but I just think it gives it a good finish to the edges of the box. Down here is just a cluster of Prima flowers. I did some gold pen, journaling pen, like over where her watch is. Up here is another handmade black rose that I put some gold rub and buff on. More Prima flowers. This is one of those resin, a white resin flower. That's the corner. And again, that's more of the wooden edging. And you know, right here where you can see a little bit, that's that gold rub and buff all along here. That is the front of the box, the cover of the box. So, hope she likes it. I showed you the side, then we open this. I've already wrapped up all of her goodies, but I'll show you the inside of the cover. That, yeah, let me move the camera up so that that's the inside of the cover. And this is a Recollections Black Rose, right there in the top corner. And I did a Tim Holtz Adage ticket. It says Bliss, and I kind of curled it and gave it some dimension. A bunch of Prima flowers that I edged in the rub and buff. This flower right here is handmade out of the Steampunk paper that the center is a Recollections Gold, or might be Prima. God, I get all my flowers mixed up. And I did that, so I just did a cluster and a bling flourish. This is from Prima packaging, and I love their packaging because you can also use it for elements. And there's a pocket, and that's where I'm going to put my info, is inside that pocket. Over here is a wooden butterfly that I totally covered in the gold rub and buff, and I did some flat pearl embellishing right there for the body. And this I bought at Michael's, and I do not know who makes it, and I did a bling flourish down here. And then to, again, all around the edges, if you can see up here, is the gold rub and buff to cover up any raw edge. And this is the from the Steampunk paper line. Is it the Steampunk? If it's not Steampunk, then it's the Graphic 45 spring. Oh, the spring one with all the fairies and stuff. It might be from that one, because I mix papers a lot. And the goodies in her bag, I did, what do you call it? This is just the sewing pattern, tissue paper. And these are some of the goodies I got her. So she's got some butterflies. I don't want to show everything because I'll probably never get it repacked. So I'm hoping she'll make a video. But I sent her, the thing was we had to give $20 worth of goodies, and I'm pretty sure I did more than that. So, and so I've laid it. And then she can use the tissue paper to make flowers with afterwards. So now along with this, we also had to make a handmade item. I decided to go all out, and I don't know exactly what all the girls do for the handmade items, but I made, I'm going to lower this a little bit, I made an explosion box with the steampunk theme. This is the handle that we used to open up as 7 gypsies. I used some Tim Holtz film strip, Prima flowers, and over here is a set of wings. I could not tell you the manufacturer, but I was in with some mixed media stuff. This here is the opposite end, the screw end of the Tim Holtz fastener that I showed you on the cover. And then there's a thing in here, it says Hope. And I think that's Making Memories. I'm pretty sure it's a Making Memories. This clock face for the cover is, I bought it while I was at a crop, and it came on a sticker sheet, and I don't have it. I'm sorry, but I don't have it. I outlined that with stickles. And then in each of these 4 corners, I bought these from a Close to My Heart representative, these metal corners, and I did the gold rub and buff on that. And on the cover, again, I did the chipboard gears that I embossed, and that's the other half. I cut it in half, and then I just did each corner. Here's one on that corner, and down here, and this one, kind of the same, because when I put the cover back on, I should have turned it. And this is the keyhole. Here's the bottom of the box, and I did mini spools, and I did the same thing as I did on the wooden box. I did the teal paint, and I inked them, and then I did the rub and buff, so it stands. And then when I open it, it's supposed to fall apart, but because it's been sitting closed for so long, it's really not going to fall apart as well as I wanted it to. So I left the pages kind of simple so that she could put little notes or quotes or photos. So that's that one. That's the center. It's a clock that I added stickles. And this came from that sticker set, that Steampunk that I bought from at a crop that I was at. And this is one of those square, it's like a postage stamp thing from that Steampunk debutante line. And this was those goggles, and I just used some embossing. No, stickles, gold stickles, and this one has a butterfly, a metal butterfly. And on this one, this is a little mini pocket. It is a working, and this came from the Tim Holtz Lost and Found paper line. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you about the outside of the box. These papers is from that Tim Holtz Lost and Found. And I found that his papers go very well with the Graphic 45 lines. So that's pretty good. And again, I use the Tim Holtz film strip with a Prima flower, and she can stick something in there. So I made them simple. There's the other side of this one, and I think I showed you this one. This was a K & Company. I think this is K & Company. Oh God, I've had it for years. Life's Journey, maybe it's from. And then we'll flip this one over too. And this again is the Time Flies. And this says Fly. That's from that same sticker thing that I got. So those are those 3. I showed you that one. And this is an alarm clock from that sticker set. It kind of lifts up. She can tuck a picture under there. And this is a pocket. Oh, I don't think I have a loose piece of paper. Excuse the arm. Let's see. Yeah, it's a working. So that's that one. Let me see, what else do we have over here, over on this side. Again, this is a tag from that Tim Holtz line. That's a working pocket. And this is, I cut a piece out of the Steampunk paper and I did stickles. And it's raised up with a pop dot. And some sticker gears. And a metal butterfly. I can't remember who makes it. I think I just bought the charms loose. And right there, I think those are all the pages. So I hope she likes this, and I thank you for stopping by and checking out my goodies. And I hope that you'll stop by again. I do have a few more. I have a travel log to share with you that I finally got back after 6 months. And I think that's it out of all the swaps I've been in lately. So thank you again, ladies. Come back soon. Bye now.